Good morning, John.
Morning, Phil.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm always well, mate.
You well?
Good to catch up again.
Fantastic. Always look forward to this.
Had a pretty busy 2 weeks. This lot of activity, mate.
Well, I think it's that time of year, John. You know, that winter time, and everyone forget going outside and rain. Let's start playing some Cuesports, and it's that busy period again now. So there's lots happened in the last couple of weeks.
Very, very busy fortnight.
Yeah. So what about before we get going? What shirt are you wearing today? Tell me about this.
Okay, well, we've got again a bit of shared history here, Phil.
Yeah.
This shirt is the old Empire from the old Empire. And,
West Terrace Empire.
That's right. The black from the black team. Obviously, the black team's still going. I'm still a part of it. But certainly, you played for this team back then.
Yep.
And we had some mixed results. We made a few grand finals, but I think we only won one out of 3 or something like that through that little patch. Good history, good club, and probably the fact that we're talking about Empire, we should mention the Iceman.
Yes, well, he is Mr. Empire.
That was a freak show. Here we go. 2 weeks ago, he can't qualify for the Masters team.
Yeah.
And now he can go away and play an open class with probably 6 of the top 10 players in Australia playing there, and he runs through them. Yeah, just go. Dave Ewing, yes, right, yeah, he could play. It was the next one.
Well, for me, John, is how strong is the Masters in South Australia to start with when Alex can't make the team? But we've got this pro pool series happening in Australia, which is fantastic for the sport, and I'm so pleased for it.
Archetype's done a brilliant job there. Yeah.
And you've got Alex just taking them out one at a time, and we spoke about it just in Sage a few weeks ago, and what an amazing player he is. Steve Woods, Australian champion, dominating on the Pro Pocket Tour, and then another South Australian in the final in James Hunty. I mean, he's a class act too. And
I think all 3 of those guys have won Pro Pool events.
That's right, yeah.
And then, there's this old bloke rocked up, he's over dealing with this guy, we'll chop in. Nah. So there's a few of us, and you and I are part of that, I suppose, group that always felt Iceman should have been a part of that.
Yeah.
Just not because he was playing great like he used to, he's still capable of great,
yes,
but simply because he deserved it.
Yeah.
For his CV. There's no one on the planet that's got a CV like his. Well, it's phenomenal. No matter what country you come from, nobody.
Yeah.
Well, Bustamante, you go to Reyes, you go to all those guys, and you go back to their national, what they've done at home. None of them would have done what he's done.
Well, I'm pretty sure, John, that they've all been amazing players. They're world champions.
Yep.
But in Australia, over the 30 years I've been involved in the sport, Alex was the kingpin when I joined, and 30 years later he's still the kingpin. And like you said, he's won every event. And even when the likes of Mick Hill comes to Australia, Alex has knocked him out of the Anzac.
He's one of the few people who's actually beaten Mick.
And so, yeah.
So we're not talking about beating Mick when he was on his way down. He was the current world champion. I think he was like 2-time or 3-time world champion when he beat him.
Yeah. So he is a phenomenon. We're very lucky that he's very close friends to you and I. So we've seen him.
What we say we're lucky.
But he's an amazing player, and like you said, John, he's the oldest player there, and he's the strongest player there. And Alex, I can officially tell you're the GOAT now. I really didn't want to tell you, but anyway, you are.
I'm just going to call you the freak show, which I sent you that message yesterday. Anyway, no, brilliant effort. And people talk about, but he played so badly, and he played this guy. He played the worst I've ever seen him play. I said, well, that only happens when you've got respect for your opponent. You don't play poorly against bunnies. Bunnies, you just wipe aside, you flick them aside, you run through them like they weren't even there. It's when you're playing somebody that puts a bit of pressure on you mentally that those errors occur. Yeah. And I didn't watch the whole series. I only caught, as I said to you earlier, I think it was 7-1 when I flicked over. The wife had gone to bed. I thought, least I can do now. I get limited time with the wife at home to watch a movie or watch a show, so I try and do the right thing. And then as soon as she was back,
I flicked over. Boat, John.
I flicked over straight away, and I reckon it was 7-1. So But yeah, some of my mates who I've since spoken to, JL I spoke with last night, he said that both Justin and James played rubbish early.
Yeah.
And they only do that because they're under pressure.
Yeah.
You don't do that against someone that you believe is going to smash up.
Yeah.
You just go and run over, run roughshod right over the top of them. Where that Iceman just puts that little bit of added pressure on people, and errors occur.
The other thing is, John, we spoke about 2 weeks ago, Alex not making the Masters team, and you said to me he also played some of the worst pool you've seen him play. And John, Alex was in Snooker SA every single day practicing his cueing action. And he wasn't in here playing games with anyone, he was in here working on his game. And that's why he's such a great player, because he obviously noticed something wasn't right.
Yep.
And what's he do? He goes and puts time and effort in, because he's got a big event coming up.
Yep.
And all he did was come in and work on his cueing action. So
that long blue that he loves to punch in.
Alex, well done, amazing effort, and to James Delahunty on making the final.
Hey, well, look, there we go. We've got all those brilliant players from all around the country and to South Australia to bring home all the cash.
So well done. And while we're on 8 ball, John, what about the Masters series where Alex didn't make the top 6? What happened there?
Well, it was, as I mentioned the last time, it was just one of those weekends where, for some unknown reason, it was Brenton's 40th, so he had a lot on his plate, and I've seen him, and it just seemed distracted. There was no real, I'm going to do this. It was like he was just going through the motion, slapping the ball around, and then he missed, I'd call it a 60-degree, or 40 degree black in the corner, hand on the table. That it was shocking to me. I've watched this kid since, as I think mentioned last time, he was a bunny when I first met him. His rise to the ranks, and then him maintaining an amazing standard now for 30 years. And then to see him miss a ball like that, was shocking. But obviously there was, as I mentioned, he had distractions. He realised it was a problem. He comes to work, then he goes away to Canberra. Optical Kings is a big tournament over there. They played, and Matty Harmon, all the best. We'll just give you a wrap as well. Everyone that's been to that tournament tells me how well it's run. So credit to you that it's just keeps getting stronger. And I think I sent you a message that I will get over there eventually. So I know I'm never going to feature like the Iceman is, but it'd be nice to catch up with a lot of the boys from the ACT.
But anyway, how did the Masters finish out?
Okay, finished up. We had the 6 players. I think I might have mentioned this last time, but we had Stacey and Darren Munchenberg, equal top. Darren Munchenberg ended up being the 1 seed for the singles, which only played off the last 6 players, by virtue of the fact that he beat Stacey 2-0.
Yeah.
So although they were on the same score, their personal results meant that he went ahead. Then there was Calvin and Roland at 3 and 4. John Lehman at 5.
Jason Ahmed.
Jason Ahmed 5, and that's right. And then JL at 6. They played the singles the weekend after, but that's why we didn't have a result for the singles. And it ended up with Calvin and Stacey in the final. And they had both steamrolled just about everyone they played. They both played really well to get there. And then in the final, Stacey couldn't get a ball off the break. And Calvin didn't look like missing anything. Just break and run, and Stacey would break dry. Calvin to run him out, break, set it up, Calvin. And I think he got away to, might have been 5-0.
Yeah.
And ended up I think the final score was, might have been 8-1, I think.
Wow.
So 8-1 or 2. It wasn't a lot because, Stacey just never got a chance. His break let him down badly. And that second ball break of his has been normally a very consistent one. Normally gets the ball in the centre or in the right-hand corner. But was nothing going in, and each time Calvin.
John, even if your break's not working, you've still got to pot the balls. You've still got to the game. So I think take my hat off to Calvin. He's in that I remember when Alex beat Calvin in the final of the Australian title.
97,
So he's still out there mixing it with the best. And you got Stacey, who also is one of the best players in Australia. Just won the Old Dogs tournament. Shows where he's situated. And Calvin comes along and gets Alex and Stacey effectively. So Calvin, also a great player.
After 12 months off, too.
Part of that team as well.
He was part of this great team, this legendary team, and would have been again, apart from his work commitments. Played for us a couple of years ago. I was part of that little team that we're. I'm getting confused with JL. But yeah, no, he's working more. Seems to be more stationed more back in Adelaide with his job. So we'll see a bit more of him now. But yeah, fabulous effort by him.
I've never told him this, John, but he has one thing that used to annoy me when I would watch him play or play in the same team as him, holding that chalk in his hand when he's holding his
queuing hand. So it hangs like this with his chalk, and he apparently, as when he first started playing, he used to do that. And now he can't get out of it. But if he's not holding it, it's weird.
Well, I just think lucky for us that he holds his chalk in his hand. Imagine if he held it properly.
Well, he's pretty effective. He's pretty effective anyway.
Very good.
Okay, next one.
Congratulations to Calvin and Stacey.
And Stacey, yeah, actually brilliant. So a great SA Masters side, as we expect it to be. On the pool front, we'll stay there if you don't mind, Phil. I've got Corey Ayres.
Yep, with the juniors.
With his juniors. Corey's a great supporter of the juniors. Two of his lads are age group champions for SA. They're both very good players and both really nice kids.
Yeah.
Just credit to Corey and obviously their mum. Those boys, they're very respectful. They play the game the right way. And just love to play.
Yeah.
But they've hit Corey's got there. Let me just check my dates. I believe it was the 26th. There we go here somewhere. Yes, it is. 26th of June at Chalkers. It's a free day, so all are welcome. If you've got a young one, young boy or girl that likes to probably may be interested in participating in pool competition, go rock up there. They've got a free barbie, free drinks. So just rock up there and have a good day with the kids. It's not competitive. Obviously the older ones are, but certainly there's plenty of activities, Corey tells me, for the young ones, for newcomers. So
right. I take my hat off to him, John. I know how hard it is to get juniors involved.
Yep. And
for them to look after them. So well done, Corey, and raising sponsorship and putting on a fun day for everyone. It's good stuff. So
and yes, Corey, I have talked to Alec about hosting one. I believe mid-September we were looking for at Empire in the City. So Alex is on board. He just needs to sort out a date. So we'll be back in touch with you regarding that time.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Well, in this last 2 weeks, John, we've also had a state title here in the snooker, which was the ladies.
Yes. And
I know we just spoke about 8 ball and Stacey. Well, we've got to bring his wife in now, who's she's obviously we know she's a legend in 8 ball.
Well, I don't know whether she'd like that, being called Stacey Lyons, rather than
Oh, he's her husband.
He's her husband. But yeah, hey, look, that's fine.
They're a good combo.
They are.
And Lyndall has been playing snooker now for a couple of years, and she's had a mindset on winning an Australian title. Unfortunately, she hasn't been able to get that shot at that title because of COVID and clashes of dates. But we won't go there. It's a sore point. But she has been working very hard on her game,
yep.
And we had an excellent tournament. It was a fun day. I'd like to have had bigger numbers. We only had 8 players, but it was still a fun day. And eventually, the semi-finals was. Lyndall played, first of all it was Tracy Bell was playing against Sue in one semi-final.
Sue Martin, yeah.
And Laura Shaw played Lyndall in the other semi-final. Lyndall won quite comfortably, but I must tell you that Laura played very well, and Kel Reilly, both impressed me, saying that they don't play snooker. They made the odd appearance, but both of them played pretty good.
Yep.
But Lyndall had too much for Laura in the semi.
Yep.
And Tracy, who was telling me it was her 26th consecutive state ladies championship that she's played in. She's also represented Australia and won the state title 3 times. So her and Sue had a very tight battle, and Sue won 2-0, but she won on the black and the pink. So that set up a final between Lyndall and Sue.
Yep.
Going into the final, I probably thought it was going to be one-way traffic with Lyndall, but we just spoke about Alex, John. And when I had hoping to referee the final, Glenn D'Amica was going to do it, and he was unable to do it, so I stepped in to referee it, and I was standing next to the honour board out there, and I was looking at the ladies' champions, and Sue Martin won that event in 1977, John. So we're talking about Alex for 30 years. Sue is now 45 years later playing in the final, and Sue was super competitive in that final. Lyndall won 3-2. And I think Lyndall would have thought she would have had it a little bit easier.
Okay.
But to Sue's credit, one of her qualities is fighting and not giving in and going to the end. She was very old school, and she just took it to Lyndall and never backed down. And what was fantastic about that final, John, there was 2 opponents, neither of them refusing to give an inch and neither of them backing down. And each girl had to earn every point that they won. And so it might not have been a high scoring affair, but it was 2 people that did not want to lose and weren't going to back down.
2 fiercely competitive
And
individuals.
Lyndall was 2-1 up, raced to 3. She was totally in control of that frame, and Sue got herself back into it. And Sue needed to pot the blue, pink, and black to win the frame. And Sue has potted a massive blue and a massive black that if anyone else had done it, they would have been raving about it. And they were her biggest 2 pots of the night, but she did it when she had to do it.
To stay alive, yeah.
And obviously Lyndall was not impressed and had to go to a deciding frame, of which Lyndall got her nose in front, and she stayed in control in that deciding frame and won it.
Okay.
But I enjoyed the fight and the fact that Sue just didn't give in, and that was
fought it out the way a good champion should.
That she is a former champion.
Yep.
She has been around a long time. She knows how to win. She knew how to win, and she wasn't going to let Lyndall just win that event. No. She was going to make Lyndall work for it. So congratulations on Sue on making the final 45 years after you played the first one, and congratulations to Lyndall. You're an absolute legend. A credit to yourself, and you know we've jumped you on board. Got some incoming messages, John. Someone else congratulating Lyndall. But well done, Lyndall.
Jonesy, I'll call you back, mate.
Yeah, can you believe that? Phil Jones, he wanted to ring in to tell you how well you did, Lyndall. But Lyndall, you're an absolute credit. I was telling John earlier, I have more admiration for you now than what I ever have, because I've seen the effort that you put in to win. So
that's right,
and that's why you and Alex are both champions, because you go the extra yards to make sure you win. So congratulations.
And yeah, absolutely well done. And I also understand that I'm not sure whether she played, but they play in the Salisbury. Her and Stacey play in the Salisbury Association.
Yeah.
Out at Caruso's.
Yeah.
And they had the carnival. So the affiliates carnival is the biggest carnival in South Australia by far.
Yeah.
So that's been going on since way back in the 70s. And I know Stacey, I'm pretty sure Stacey and Gavin actually might have been in that.
So well, I know that Stacey did tell me during the week that he was going away for a few days with Gavin. He didn't tell me he was playing 8 ball, but he told me he was going away. So it makes sense. And I did see that Salisbury won. So, but I won't confirm that, John.
No.
I don't even know the official results, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Salisbury won. And any lineup that has Stacey Vine and Gavin Lomax in it is that's could potentially win a national title, let alone a country carnival.
Absolutely. So I don't know who the rest of their team. I know Mikey was going for the first time, and he said,
wow.
For
so
15, 13, I think I saw a message from him that it was the first time in 13 years he'd gone to the carnival.
Wow!
So I don't know whether he was in that side or he plays for City of Adelaide, because I know that the City of Adelaide, he plays City of Adelaide with Alec. Yeah. They play on a Wednesday night,
Well,
we go without these guys.
we'll have to have a chat with the associations so we can have all the results for our next meeting. But
yeah, that's right. I mean, we should have. I mean, I know Bobby Court's been part of that forever, and he knows me. So, yeah, Bobby, please send me some detail because obviously this is a very important carnival. It's been going. It's the greatest history in South Australia, and yeah, we should be something that we should know firsthand rather than trying to find stuff on Facebook or. So certainly, let us know. We'll make sure we talk about it next time.
Well, I know, John, when I won my first state singles, 8-ball, which was a surprise because I wasn't part of 8-ball at that stage. I was a snooker player and I entered in a pool tournament, happened to win it. But my prize for winning it was you're in the country carnival team and you're going away for the weekend. So that was my welcoming back then. So all them years ago, it was winning the singles. The privilege was you got to go to that carnival. So anyway, that's a long story from a long time ago. But we'll get the results on that one. Yeah,
we will. And I'm sure that someone will send them in.
And I did have another snooker event I wanted to mention, John. A couple. I'll get them through quickly. I know we're running out of time, but we had the annual Queen Birthday 6 Red competition on the weekend.
Yep.
And I'll just get you to the semi-finals. In one semi-final, we had Mohan playing Peter Udich, and Mohan defeated Peter 4-2, which is a fantastic victory for Mohan. It was handicapped, but Mohan had played really, really well all day. And in the other semi-final was Chris Wilmer and Ben Zalco.
Okay.
Ben's going away for the Australian Junior Snookers shortly, and he was in here and he played fantastic all day. And Chris Wilmer got over him 4-3 on the black in the deciding frame.
Okay.
So the final is next Tuesday between Mohan and Chris Wilmer. So good luck to both you people. And midweek we had the Thursday night snooker league, which the Cavs, which was Mike Wellens and Gary Hazel, defeated Shane Murphy and Vinay Singh 9-8 in the decider. It was 8-all, and they had to play the deciding frame, of which Gary Hazel got over the line on Shane Murphy. So well done, you four making the final, and congratulations, Gary and Mike, for winning the event.
Cool.
So that's all the stuff I've got there, John.
Mate, I've just had an update. Corey's just sent in a message here. Salisbury won 8-0 in the final, and Stacey and Gav were in that team. You didn't know mention about the other players, but I mean that's pretty good anyway.
You know what I think is amazing, John, is that we're talking on here and people are now ringing us, sending us messages.
We're getting some feedback, which is good.
That's amazing. So, well, anyway, upcoming events, John.
Okay, well, obviously, my tournament's been running now since 2017. We had a COVID year off in 2020, but we've run it continually since then. And my goal was to have 12 teams from around the country. And selfishly, I was expecting all my counterparts from interstate to bring teams from Victoria, South Australia, WA, Tassie, Queensland, etc. And I've had mixed results with that.
Yeah.
But this time I have actually got 2 teams from Tassie, 2 from Victoria, 1 from Queensland, and the rest of them are local sides. But yeah,
I think getting 12 teams is amazing, John.
Well, look, that's the next.
It
is, yeah, but it has taken a while, and obviously the fact that the players that have been here and played in it enjoy it so much that they've actually, a lot of it's been done word of mouth.
Yeah.
We've had a new crop of 50-year-olds just turned up in the last 12 months. So we had Roland and Darren Munchenberg, Jason Ahmed. They're all newly 50s. So they actually got to be a tough side because they still play very well. And Darren and Reilly and made the state side.
Yeah.
So made the state master side. So very good teams. But yeah, I'm so pleased with it, and I'm really pleased, Phil, that you've been able to sort of find a space there to come and play in the singles event.
Well, I just wanted to come and see your friends, really, John.
Well, they're all your friends too. A lot of them you'd know very well too, Phil. So, but yeah, I'm very proud of the fact that we've now got it to a full complement of 12 teams. And we've got 5 extras. So effectively we've got 53 players in the singles.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a big evening, afternoon and evening to get through to try and get it to the semi-finals on Friday, because the schedule's going to be pretty busy. Saturday and Sunday. So hopefully we can get it to the semi-finals, but we'll play it as deep as we can. But yeah, it's a fantastic event, and Alec provides great room there. The staff, Ash and the staff, look after us. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. We normally go out and have a bite later on. It's Saturday night, I think I booked somewhere nice for us to go and have a meal.
I'm sure everyone's going to have a ball on the weekend then, John.
Yeah, well, they start arriving Thursday night. I've got a fleet of cars arranged to pick up all the Tassie boys that arrive, I believe at 6 p.m. Thursday. So I've got Jones, he's just ringing me now to say, what time do I have to be there? Calvin's also going to be staying at my house, so he's got a four-wheel drive, so between the three of us we can ferry them all into the venue and to the hotel, and then it's just, I haven't heard from Lenny, so Lenny, should you be watching, I'll ring you later in the week anyway and sort out collecting you and the Queensland boys.
That's awesome, John.
Cool. No, but I'm looking really forward to it. Great weekend, and it's more about the catch-up than the pool. But the pool's good too. I mean, we're fortunate we won it last year, but it wasn't because we were the best team. We were the best unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really good chemistry in our side, and we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, quickly, John, just before we go, overseas news. We got Jake McCartney, our great friend, and we've seen him recently at Brenton's birthday.
Yep.
He's over playing in the UK on the Ultimate Pro Series, and I seen last night he was in the last 16. So fantastic from Jake.
Jake's such a quality player. And beautiful kid. You know, I still call him kid because I mean he's not a kid. But relatively speaking, he is, and just a lovely young man.
Australian.
Well, yeah.
That's how much we like him.
Well, that's right. He's extremely popular over here, as he is around the country. But he seems to have made some pretty close relationships with the players, South Australian players in particular. But yeah, looking forward to it. I met his lovely girl, Kira. She actually did a portrait of Brenton and Becky for Lynn.
Oh, fantastic.
Charcoal, absolutely sensational. I mean, she's a absolute top shelf artist.
Oh, that's
so
brilliant.
So very impressive. So yeah, that was good. And then, sorry, I digress. I digress. Yeah, but look, the other players, James Showboat,
and then
on
Wednesday morning, the big one, Foxtel, is the World Cup of Pool. Amazing event to be at, and we've got South Australia's James Georgiadis, all Showboat, playing for Australia with his partner
Ivan. I'm not sure Ivan's surname.
Ivan. And they're playing Spain, and Spain have made the final and the semi-final the last couple of years, going up against David Alcadia, one of the world's top players. So they haven't got an easy game, but in that tournament, John, there ain't any easy games. No. So it wouldn't matter who they drew; they were going to draw a tough opponent. So
hey, look, the beauty of it is, I mean, the occasion's bigger than the actual player. I feel the play. I've watched, and Phil, you played, and you've been there trying to. It's such a big occasion for Australians. That the fact that they put all this emphasis on the fact that we've never won a match and we'd never do this, and I believe James and
they broke that.
James and Justin broke that hoodoo. So maybe one barrier is down, but there's no reason. We know the quality of these players, and because we haven't seen them repeatedly on television like we have most of these other superstars that are in that event, doesn't mean to say they're not the shot makers they are.
Well,
these guys they're both quality players. I'd like to see them give it a shake.
The good thing about Jimbo is he actually loves it, John. He likes the limelight. All the players there love him. He talks in Greek to all the Europeans. He doesn't change from what he is here to when he is there, and they think he's a star over there.
Oh, he's there.
So he likes the TV cameras. He likes the limelight. That's why he got asked to play in the other events, because of who he is and what he can do. So I know he's pumped for this event. So good luck, Ivan and James. I know you'll do us proud, and we'll
absolutely, and we're looking forward to seeing you go deep.
So good luck. And we're talking about international, and I know we've got to go, John, but Anna Lynch, or should I say Anna Hall and Rob Hall, the world two world billiard champions. They've arrived in Australia a few days ago. They're playing, Anna's coming here to play in the Australian billiards, and Rob's here playing in the international billiards event I think at the end of this week. So fantastic to hear that you're back in Australia, Anna. Congratulations to both of you on your wedding.
Yes.
Good luck in the tournament, and John and I are eager to have you and Rob on the couch with us when you come to Adelaide in a few weeks' time. So anyway, that's all I can talk about, John.
Cuesport lovers. We'll see you next time.
See you later, John.
Cheers.
Bye.